Good evening, everybody. Today we are going to be changing it up a little bit. I'm going to start up a new series of Fascist Sweden. I was finishing up my PRC campaign, and after playing just a few more years, there wasn't really anything too interesting going on. Germany fell in a few months, and it was quite boring. And so I'm figuring if we start up as a small nation in Europe with a little bit of development, we'll see some very interesting changes. So let's get right on into the game. I'm going to turn on Iron Man because I don't see any reason not to. And I'm going to make this an ahistorical game, so we'll see a lot going on around us. So getting into Sweden here, it's going to take some time to actually... Do I have to delete? Okay. That's fine, it works for me. So we're getting right on in here. Loading up graphics and such. I don't really know what Sweden's starting situation in this game, so you and I will be in for a little bit of surprise depending on what we see. I know that with diligence we can build up a strong military for Sweden. And I know, yeah, Sweden does have a fairly sizable navy at the beginning of the game, of which we are going to grab, assign them all to Stockholm. I don't really see any reason to not go into Stockholm. Yep. So Sweden has a great situation as far as steel goes at the very beginning of the game. Oil, not so much. And we're probably going to be looking to our Nordic neighbors for some oil. However, I don't really see us needing any ships. I don't see that becoming very helpful to us. Looking around, yes. Once again, instead of starting off industrial, we're going to go straight down to collectivist and get the fascism. We're going to start making our way down the fascism tree as soon as possible. Now, technologically, I know Sweden is in a lot better position than the PRC. And looks like we get to choose, so I'm going to go superior firepower because that will help us not lose as many men. Looking around here, industry, grab some construction speed. Actually, I think I'm going to turn off that superior firepower in favor of some engineering. Yes, electrical. There we go. So that's a pretty good start. Let's see, we have 27 ships altogether. I don't really know an easy way to merge our fleets. Yeah. Yeah, you see, they all have to be in the same location first, which makes sense. It makes sense. Here we go. Grab all of them. And we'll form up our one and only Swedish army. Now, I believe we can make a fairly sizable front against Norway here. So we're gonna go like this, I think. And we'll see if we can actually make a real front against Norway. So we're basically going to create our own little Scandinavian empire. That's going to be the main goal. And it should be fairly easy to accomplish all of this. For some reason, the Nordic countries have a ton of resources. I don't really understand why. Let's see. Finland, not so much, but Norway has a ton of resources. Denmark has some aluminum, which could be helpful, but I don't think it'll really make that significant of a difference for us. And just doing some looking around, acquiring these, Iceland, the Orkneys, I don't think that'll be all that helpful for us. And let's see. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and build up our factories. This will be complete very slowly. Everything is very slow in this game. I'm almost considering disbanding our navy just so we could get more out of that manpower, but I don't see that being particularly helpful. Alright, so it's all going to take some time. We'll turn it up to speed 5. And we'll see what we can do. We're missing some equipment production. I wonder what equipment we are in desperate need of. Some support equipment. Okay, I could see. I could justify pulling off one of these infantry equipment factories in order to make some support equipment. So, actually no, not like that. What are we actually in need of that I'm not making? Towed artillery. Okay. Makes a little bit more sense. Alright, so we're gonna go in here and we are going to build some towed artillery. We have a ton of resources that are gonna be very helpful. Now looking here, we are able to export a lot of tungsten, which Romania is acquiring, and some steel, which Romania is also buying from us. So that's good. Looking here, that increases the amount of factories we have to 12. I'm going to see about improving some relations with our German friends here. That is weird. I don't know why Hitler is censored. I usually don't see him censored in the games I'm playing. Maybe since it's Iron Man, or I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and improve relations since we're different ideologies. Just go ahead and start on a good foot with the Nazis. Alright, that takes us to the 16th currently. And one of the main things we're going to focus our political power on is moving away from a civilian economy to things like partial mobilization, and eventually total mobilization, like war economy and things like that. With our export focus, limited conscription will probably do a lot of good for us. Yeah. We have about 91.48 thousand manpower, and most of it's already spent on our troops. Alright. Well, with the way this plan is drawn out, I think it'll go well in our favor. Alright. Let's just assign like southern Norway as a general goal. Yep. Motioning our way up. And as soon as we can take the northern provinces up here, it'll probably be a really quick invasion. We are low on manpower, and that's a finite resource that we cannot replenish very quickly. Now, as far as fighters go, we have some naval bombers in Västergötland and some fighters in close air support, so that'll come in handy very quickly. I think as soon as we're done with the political effort and getting our daily fascism support, we're just going to run down straight to nationalism focus. And maybe militarism. I'm still thinking about whether or not we need to do that. But definitely nationalism. And then as soon as that's done, we're going to go down our construction effort techs. So we can get in some more just civilian factories in general. And the beginning of the game is mostly just about being patient. I wish there were some more unique focus trees. I wish it wasn't one of those things where picking fascism was always the best choice as far as, I guess you could say, min-maxing in this game. That's something I wish it was a little bit different. Yep. Alright, we got 2 extra units. I'm moving on in, filling up our front line. So this will be a very interesting game, in the sense that I've never played a Scandinavian nation, and the only other European nation that I've played is a little bit of Romania. I managed to conquer, basically restoring the Austrian Empire in our name as Romania, taking Albania, Yugoslavia, Hungary, Bulgaria. I couldn't take Austria, but we took a good chunk of territory, a little bit of Czechoslovakia. And then we were starting to push into Soviet Russia. Alright. Things all look like they're working out for us right now. Let's see who we have. We have a commando who helps when we're out of supply. I'll go with a hill fighter. Eric's of Eltum. Probably butchering all of these pronunciations. Let's see, let's merge our fleet together. 10 submarines, some destroyers, some light cruisers, and some heavy cruisers. I don't really understand how we can help out with spread. Current engagement, fire at will. Automatic split off is now disabled. Create new fleet. Repair no. Never repair. Okay. It's a little weird to me. Just looking around. There's definitely a very small amount of troops coming from Norway itself. It appears that something just got completed. Yep, the Spanish Civil War fired very early. I usually don't see it firing in the first couple months of the game. But I guess we could see how this playing out in usually the less time that Republican Spain has to build up, the more likely it is that the nationalists do very well. But that's just in my experience with the game. I'm sure everybody's seen completely different outcomes in that battle altogether. Let's see, we have our reinforcements. Go ahead and set that to the highest priority. And it looks like it's going to take quite a lot of time to actually fulfill our needs with the amount of factors that we have, which is not good. I should probably, after I build up like my first 15, after I can fill up this bar to about 15 out of 15, I should probably prioritize my military factories as soon as possible. Yeah, we're pretty low strength overall, these divisions. Yeah, I mean, they're not at a high strength per se, but it's like comparing apples to oranges to a certain extent. Foreign claims. I wonder if we have a claim on Bornholm down here. No, we don't have a foreign claim here, which is too bad. I would hope we'd have a claim on that small province. Remilitarization of the Rhineland. Well, that at least means that this is done. And that's going to be pretty important for moving forward, going for collectivist ethos. Oh. It appears that currently, since they've already have us starting on the since they've already given us neutrality, I don't think they're going to allow us to move to collectivists. One of the following, current ruling party. Huh. So that's going to take a lot more time than I was hoping. Looks like we're going to just have to get a fascist demagogue. So we're going to get Per Egdal. And we're going to round up some popular support. Right now we have the National Socialist Workers' Party. It's the same kind of thing as basically the German equivalent in Sweden. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to go for our industrial effort. Hopefully that is as helpful as I'm thinking it'll be. Yep, for your enemy, and then a straight. I don't see the straight that it's speaking of directly affecting us, so we'll be fine. So, just more of a waiting game. I guess we'll watch the Republican versus well, it's not really Republican. It's more so the fascists versus the communists. Both of them are totalitarian regimes, I believe. Yeah, both of them hold no elections, which is very weird to me. I think that it starts as a democratic nation, I think. Yeah. It's a pretty significant development when you think about it. The Swedes, their starting position, it appears to be okay. I'm gonna look at the possible units to build. Let's see, we have the cavalry, who only take a tiny amount of infantry equipment, support equipment. The Arme Fordelnig, that's pretty good. And the Militäromrad, they have some cavalry. I really don't want any of these to exist. Basically, getting this out of our army is going to be a pretty high priority. It's only there because we have no manpower, I mean. And we can't really do anything about that at this moment. Alright, well, at this rate, 20% is the tick where it becomes 0.05 daily change. And so we're going to see some fascism grow very quickly at first. And then it's going to lose a lot of power over time. And that's just kind of how it works. It's very slow. It takes about 1 to 2 years to get your fascists in as the majority party, which is it's pretty lame how long that takes. I wish it was easier. That would make a lot of this game a whole lot easier if things just didn't take as much time. Alright, we finished up our electronic mechanical engineering. And I think with that, we should move right on ahead to mechanical computing. That'll be particularly helpful to us. And hopefully we can finish up industrial effort before we need to research, or right before this basic machine tools is finished, because then we can research concentrated industry very quickly. Now, when you're choosing between dispersed industry and concentrated industry, you have to think, are you honestly going to be bombed enough that you want to have just less factories? Because overall, it's almost always better to just have better factories in general, which is what concentrated industry techs do. And being bombed in this production efficiency retention, they're kind of insignificant if you have air superiority, which we do plan on having. Alright, so we're seeing our fascists slowly taking a hold, definitely getting rid of the Swedish Communist Party and the non-aligned party. You can see the Democratic Party is slowly losing hold on the nation, and it's just going to be a matter of time. But that's just the beginning of our series. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all enjoy this, our second Hearts of Iron series. I've been your host, Hoodlum, and I hope you all have a wonderful